here with a knife video for you. And today we're taking a look at a new Spyderco for 2019, another one. This is not something I have looked at before. This is a budget fixed blade from Spyderco, Phil Wilson designed for outdoor tasks, but not really a survival knife. Like, this is not something you're going to go out and baton with, especially when you see this tip. You'll see that in a second, but Phil Wilson is the designer here. Great, well-known designer, beautiful work that he does. And this is designed by him with the stated intention of being sort of an all-around outdoor use type of knife, something you take on and put on your belt when you're going hunting or fishing or something along those lines that can do the cutting tasks you're going to run into. So that's his design, or I mean, that's his stated purpose for the knife. I think there'd be quite a few other uses. I could definitely see, you know, these are not super expensive. I could see buying 2 or 3 of these and putting them in my knife block in the kitchen, because it'd be a pretty handy kitchen cutting tool for sure, and much more attractive than most of my kitchen knives. Of course, going to come with this sheath, which is nothing special, and let's quickly do a rundown on sort of what we're dealing with in terms of materials. So we've got this full flat ground blade in HCR 13 MOV, made in China. Really, really nice layered G10 here. I have to say, guys, the handle alone on this is worth the price of admission, which is only like 30 bucks. And for that 30 bucks, you're getting something pretty impressive. The fact that it comes with a sheath at all at that price point is pretty good, and this sheath is actually not bad. Of course, guys, I would prefer, you know, a Kydex sheath with, you know, a tech lock or something like that, but the way this comes nicely fit in here, I really can't complain, especially for the price point. The belt loop is maybe not huge. If you're wearing like a full 2 or 2.5 inch belt, I'm not sure, but I think 2 inches you could probably squeeze through, and anything under that, like 1.5 inches or something, should be just fine. It is, you know, some kind of leatherish type of stuff. And so I'm not too bad. Now, of course, there'll be a question of how this is going to hold up over the years, and I can't answer that question because this is a first impressions video. Moving over to the knife itself, we'd already kind of started with the materials, and so you've got a rundown on that. Quickly just note that it is pin construction. We do have sort of a tubed lanyard hole here, full tang, of course. And again, man, I've got to comment on that handle. Really, really attractive. This sort of upswept tip and very, very fine tip there. One last point about construction that we'll touch on before we move on, and that is there's a little portion of unsharpened blade right here. Now, this is designed in such a way that if you want to sharpen this, there's not much material. You could easily and quickly put an edge on there, although you might get, I think you'd be fine. I don't even think you'd get a smile. I think you'd be fine if you just went ahead and sharpened that last little bit. And I may actually do that, but I'm not sure. The way the knife feels in hand, the idea here is that if you do get a little too close to this, you're not going to cut yourself. And I understand this from I understand that from a working knife perspective. All right. So now that we've got kind of a rundown on how this is built and what it's built out of, let me give you the size and weight. So in the sheath, which is the way I suspect most people will be carrying this, in the sheath like this, it's going to be 8 5/8 inches long. It's going to weigh 5.6 ounces. Take the knife out of the sheath, and now what you're dealing with is an 8 1/8 inch overall knife with 3 3/8 on the blade, 3 3/4 on the handle. I guess that's this measurement here, the handle, and 3 7/8 grip area. So that's including this cutout here for your front finger. All right, the blade stock is not very thick. We've got 3/16 of an inch there, so quite slim. And as I say, really, really slicey knife here. And I guess the one advantage is if you're carrying this on your belt outdoors, you would definitely be able to use whatever pocket sharpener you've got with you and get a decent edge on this. HCR 13 is not going to be all that bad. What are my initial thoughts on this? Well, listen, as I say, I've got to spend some time with this. I'll use it and carry it and see how it does here over the next few months or weeks, however long it takes. And then I'll come back with a full review, but my initial thought is very comfortable, very nice, a very attractive little cutting tool here. Yeah, I can definitely see using this for, you know, hunting purposes, for, you know, wouldn't want to call it a fillet knife so much. There's not nearly enough flex here to be filleting, but you know, processing fish and other game, I think you're going to be just fine. And even, you know, if you, depending on how you manage, you know, depending on how you do your fish, if you want to, you know, kind of run this along the skin, you could probably pull it off. And get some decent fillets out of there. So yeah, do I think it's well designed for the purpose that Phil intends for it? Yeah, I do. I don't think there's any reason that this wouldn't be just fine. I will say this, guys. I think this design is very attractive. And you know, if this steel was, you know, I don't know, VG10 or M390 or 14C28N. I would love to see this in 14C28N. I'm not a fan of the 8CR13 MOV. Even if they did 9CR18, again, there are lots of budget steel options out there that are going to outperform 8CR13, and I kind of wish people would start going in that direction, especially, you know, for a knife like this. There are lots of good options you could use other than 8CR. Not that it's the worst steel ever, and I you know, as I say, if I'm taking this out for a day in the bush, you know, as long as I anticipate sharpening it at the end of the day, I think I'm probably good to go. But that was my initial thought was, yeah, I like this design a lot. It feels great in hand. I like the sheath. It would have been really nice to see this in something other than 8CR13. But otherwise, I like this quite a bit. Let me know what you think of this design. And I assume most of you are going to be with me on the steel. That's you guys will complain about 8CR13 MOV even if I don't. So I did it for you this time. You don't have to say it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and use my, actually, you know, I'll send you over to DLT for this one. So I'll put a link to DLT Trading in the description box. I think these guys, they should have some in stock. Most retailers do. If they don't, I guess you can check White Mountain Knives as well. But I'm going to link to DLT, and you won't see a White Mountain Knives link because they prefer I don't do that over at DLT Trading. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for using that link. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will talk to you soon.